It was obviously amazing. It was a dream come true. After I got my green card when I was with OKC, actually, for the last 6 years have been tough. It's been very rough because obviously the Turkish government put my name on Interpol list and they revoked my passport. So like it's been very rough, but it's finally happened. I've been waiting for this moment since the day I stepped in America. So definitely one of the most unforgettable, maybe the most unforgettable moment that I had in my life.
Can you tell us the inspiration for your name?
Um, yeah, quick story. First time I came to America, it was back in 2009. One of my teammates was criticizing the president, and I was like very scared of him. I turned around, I was like, dude, like, what are you doing? They're gonna throw you in jail. He turned around and started laughing at me. He's like, brother, don't worry about it. This is not Turkey, But in America, obviously, people are very blessed to be in this situation. You have freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of expression, freedom of press. You guys are, you guys are doing your jobs, and when some people, your colleagues overseas, in many countries, especially Middle East, just because of they doing their job, they're in jails. Especially like people in Turkey. There's so many political prisoners and so many journalists are in the jail right now. But I think just here, I wanted to make that word part of me because that was the word that I fight for my whole life. And that was the word that try to stand up for my whole life. So to me, it was really important, and that was the that was the reason.
What do you want to call you? Enes Freedom? How do
Mi-
you want us to say
Mr. Freedom.
it? Thank you. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. That's it.
Curious as to how much blowback you receive from some of the stances you've taken in relation to China.
How much? What?
Uh, Repercussions, blowback, the NBA, how do you think they view what you're
I think obviously, people know me. I try to stand up for the things that I believe almost, and it doesn't matter. I always try to stand up for the truth, for freedom, and for democracy. It doesn't matter who it's for or against. And I remember I was doing a basketball camp this summer, and I was signing autographs for kids, and one of the parents turned around and said, "How can you call yourself a human rights activist when your Muslim brothers and sisters in China are getting tortured and raped, and they're in concentration camps, and it's pretty much a genocide?" And I turned around, I was shocked. I turned around, I was like, I'm gonna do my research and get back to you. And the more research I have done, that I've seen, the human rights violations are happening not just in Turkey but all over the world. But I think one thing that I'll give huge credit, to my teammates. They've been so supportive, and they are like my family. And with their support, right, just I have so much hope and motivation to fight for what's right. And Celtics been unbelievable too. They've been very supportive as well.
You had mentioned at the game when you have particular procedures.
Mhm.
Have you got any more response from the league along those lines?
I had a conversation with Adam Silver, and I told Adam, I was like, listen, am I breaking any rules? He said no. I told him, I was like, if there is any rules that I'm breaking or I'm violating, let me know. I'll be the first one to follow. And he said, no, you're not violating the rules. And I was like, Adam, you guys are the one that telling us and encouraging players to stand up for what's right, not just the problems that are happening in America, but all over the world. So, you guys are the one that encouraged me to talk about all the violations that are happening all over the world, right? And he's like, listen, you have a freedom to say whatever you want. And I was like, I appreciate that.
Yeah, coach, yeah, it's been a while. So, can you kind of explain the tweet that you put out that kind of, with one with the flip book on it for somebody in of you,
Uh-huh.
that kind of insinuated that you weren't playing because of speaking out, like what you were trying to get across?
I sit down and talk to Ima about it, and coach Ima said, that has nothing to do with it. And after that talk, I play every game, you know. Um, I mean, yeah, that's how I felt, and I put it out there. And Coach Ime came to me and said, "That's not the situation." And I said, "Okay." And after that talk we had, I pretty much played every game.
What's that like now to get these opportunities again? You know, I'm sure it's frustrating to not be part of things for a while.
It's amazing, man. Obviously, I mean, my first job to play basketball. I'm not a politician. Some of the things I do might be a little outside of basketball court, but like I'm not a politician. At the end, my first job was to play basketball and then help my team win. It's amazing to just go out there and just be part of the best organization in the league. You know, so like I enjoy every minute of it. Even when I was not playing, I sit down with some of the coaches and say, listen, you've been in the league for 11 years now, and if you don't play, just try to help the young guys. So like I'm always trying to, talk to Rob, talk to Bruno, talk to other young guys that we have. So I'm trying to just do my job.
And it's, you just took a pulse of last night. Are you trying to, is there like a fear that either whatever this will become political, and you might be used as kind of a person who says he loves America in a time where America being so criticized? Like the bubble, everyone had kind of something to say about what was going on in America. You
Mhm.
were obviously supported that. You had freedom on
Right,
back
of
in New
course.
Jersey. Are you kind of afraid like either side might pull you and go, he's one of us? Like,
Um, I can just tell straight, I'm not none of y'all, but I'm with you all same time. The reason I'm saying this is like I never had a side. I'm not a Democrat or I'm not a Republican. I say this from day one, and some of the things I do, people might be mistaken because I don't do politics. I do human rights. There's a thin but huge line between human rights and politics. The reason I'm so involved with these politicians, senators or congressmen, people in State Department, White House, or whatever. The reason because I'm trying to help people. Well, we are trying to create bills. We are trying to find ways to just help those people, and not just in Turkey, but all over the world. Trying to find a way to put some sanctions on some of the countries for violating some human rights. Try to boycott the Olympics. Trying to free all the political prisoners and stuff. So like the reason I talk to those people, I mean, obviously, is because of human rights, because I help people. I mean, I can just straight. I'm not any other side. I don't have a side, and obviously, every country have their issue. Obviously, we are seeing what was happening in America, like you said, 2 years ago, right? But the thing is, people still feel lucky to be in this situation. Um, I mean, if you want to go see what's out there, like countries like Iraq or Turkey or Syria or some Iran or China, or Belarus, Venezuela, North Korea. I can just go on and on. Then you will appreciate this country even more. So I feel like, obviously we are having our problems here, but people should definitely feel blessed to be in this situation.
fans, where'd you come up with the idea for the shoot?
um, the shoes were obviously the reason I wanted to do the shoes. Obviously, inspired the young generation. Obviously, when I was a kid, when I was watching the NBA, the first thing I was looking at the which shoes that my favorite player was wearing. You know, and I think it did bring lots of awareness of what's going on around the world. I we started with Tibet, we started, and then we go with Uyghurs, and it was Hong Kong, it was Taiwan, and you see like the support that I get from people. It was incredible. I mean, now you see like the presence of the some of the countries are supporting, and even like some of the you know people in America are just have our back. But the important thing is obviously like inspire the young generation, and I think that was the best way to do it. And I looked at the rule books, and there was nothing against it. If you don't put any kind of logo or any kind of anything like that on it, then you cannot wear it. But to me, it was just expressing my speech.
So from growing up as a kid, noticing that was where the idea came from. You just think of it. Did you talk to somebody about it? Like where did the idea
I mean, I have some like I have a lot of obviously human rights organizations that I work with, and but that was totally my idea because obviously when I was growing up, I was the first thing I was like, okay, what's Kobe wearing?
Yeah.
What's Shaq wearing? What's this wearing? That wearing? Tim Duncan wearing? So like that was the first thing that I was looking at the players' feet. But yeah, I think I'd be glad. Now so many people are asking where can we get their shoes.
You've always been pretty critical of LeBron. When he was here the other day, you got asked about your shoes and said that you walked by and you didn't talk to him. Have you tried to reach out to him at any point? And if not, why not?
Well, the first, so the first thing is let me give you guys the correct story. So I was actually on the court, and after I left the court, right after I left the court, he was behind me. It was me, my assistant coach, and him. And then I stopped to take a picture with a kid, and then he was the one that walked literally right past me. I think the important thing is like whenever I talk about this, obviously players, you know, my first thing that people need to understand, the players need to do their research and they have to educate themselves before they put their signature on a paper and sign this like lifetime deals and stuff. Because obviously everybody knows how I feel about some of the sponsors that we have, like Nike, to me, the biggest hypocrite company out there. They stand for Black Lives Matter in America, amazing. They stand with Latino community, Asian hate, no Asian hate. They stand with LGBTQ community, but when it comes to some of the countries out there, like China, they remain silent. And obviously, they are using these players to become the face, like Cristiano Ronaldo for soccer, LeBron for basketball, and some of the other athletes. But they're becoming puppets. So I feel like we need to be careful of what we are wearing, because every time you put those items on your feet or on your back, there's so much blood and sweat and so much oppression on those items. So be careful.
When you were in LA, would you try to talk to him, or if not, would you try to reach out to him some other
Sure. I mean, I would love to sit down and talk to him. I'm sure it's going to be a very uncomfortable conversation for him. I don't know if he is going to want that. I will make it like really comfortable for him. And I don't know if he is educated enough, but I'm here to educate him and I'm here to help him because it's not about money. It's about morals, principles, and values. It's about what you always stand for. There are way bigger things than money. And now, if LeBron stop making money now, he can have his grandkids can have the best life ever. But I feel like it's definitely time to athletes to stand up for the things that they believe in and stand up for the things that are not just in America issues, but all over the world.
You say first out is basketball. You talked to us a little bit about facing off against Joel.
Obviously, it's always fun to go against. Well, not too fun, obviously. He's one of the best big men out there, but it's always fun to go against a really good big man like that because you always see yourself where you're at. Obviously, to stop a guy like that is not a one man's job. It's about the whole team's job. And we do have a really good game plan. Obviously, I'm not gonna give you guys the game plan about him, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Obviously, it's the big rivalry, and Boston is ready. The Celtics is ready. The fans are ready. So it's gonna be an awesome game for us.
It seems like now, and I don't know if you've always been like this, but now there's no fear. I mean, like there's some guys and guys who have talked and been so political that they might push their way out of the league. Obviously, in the NFL that happened. Why no fear? And do you understand? Do you know? You thought about the repercussions of
Yep.
being so outspoken?
I mean, my whole life I was never feared or I was never scared of anything. I mean, not many people understand, not many people knows this, but like whenever I sit down with an NBA player, they are telling me that they want to talk about many of the issues are happening, but they're scared because of the challenge that they will face. I am the one getting, the thing is like there's so many, whenever I talk about LeBron, whenever I talk about Michael Jordan, the black athletes are in the league are the one reaching out to me and say, listen, talk about this person. And they are the one actually, not many people know this, but they are the one that give me talking points. You know, when this, Black Lives Matter riots happened, protests happened. I was the third one in the whole league that went out there and protested with Boston. I was actually wearing my jersey because I wanted them to know that I'm with them, and I am with them. It's not them, it's us, it's all of us. But when these issues are happening, obviously some of the players out there in the league are scared to say anything against LeBron or Jordan or against some of the issues that are happening, but they are reaching out to me and giving me talking points and say, listen, you talk about LeBron, it's amazing, but he's at least standing up for things in America. Why don't you say anything about Michael Jordan? He is, only thing that he's doing is just giving money, but he is remaining silent. He's scared to speak up. Silence is violence. So they are the ones sending me all those talking points and saying, and if I believe in it, then I'm just going out there and saying it. Because like I said again, I'm not really scared of anything, because this is bigger than basketball. So it's important to not have that fear, and I hope more players will join me.
Thank you, Mr. Freedom. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, that's it? Anything else? Chris, nothing?
Did you not hear that question?
Oh, yeah, sure.